back on the couch with interior designer Farai Chinya, and he is about to speak to us about collaborations and longevity in interior design. Farai, you've been able to break down quite eloquently the space we find ourselves in. But when we kind of dig deeper into the client brief, what is it and how do you envision it coming to life?
I wish I could say there was a set standard of what a client brief would be, but it's always different depending on what the space is going to be used for. Is it a family home? Who comes to the house? Is it an entertainment space? Does the client host? Depending on what the end result is going to be. In terms of residential, we always ask the questions, what is the end result? What is it that you want to achieve? What must it feel like? And who are you going to be bringing to the space? That then will in turn help us to put together a brief and a design that will suit the client.
I'm so glad that you spoke about spaces because, I mean, today we're in this beautiful, luxurious and massive space, but some of us with the smaller apartments still want this kind of feel when we come home. What are some tips that you can give to us to make sure that our spaces are lovely to come back to?
The design process is exactly the same. Whether it's a big space, a small space, we still do the client brief. We ask you, what do you want your space to feel like? What must it be? What do you want to feel like yourself when you get into the space or when you leave the space? So we do the same process, and some of the tips that we use for smaller spaces is exaggerating them. For instance, the use of mirrors opens up spaces, connects spaces, and also makes it look a little bit more luxurious compared to using a smaller piece of furniture. So from client to client, space to space, we then will be able to see what really we can work with in terms of like layering the look. So also things like wall fixtures, extra large artworks, they make the space seem a little bit bigger.
But coming off of small spaces compared to big spaces into collaboration, there's an architect, there's a landscape designer, and then there's yourself, the interior designer. How important is that relationship and collaboration between all three?
Interesting enough, all of our work is collaborative. It might not be with another designer, but it's always with another industry professional or a supplier or a manufacturer. So with all of this, if we can look at, for instance, how we do our work, some projects we start them as complete builds, complete full turnkey projects. So that means we have to collaborate with the architect, we have to collaborate with the furnace station guys, we have to collaborate with the roofing guys, we have to collaborate literally with everyone. So to make our job successful, we definitely need to collaborate and put together a comprehensive design that will then suit the client.
I've clearly noticed that every single room in the space is about experience. There's a place for people to sit down and communicate. The living area is completely open from one end to another. How do you create these experiences within a beautiful home?
That's a good question, and I'm glad that you noticed that every space is quite different in terms of the walkthrough with the spaces. What we have done is to make sure that we've got distinctive pieces that we have in all the different spaces. We've got 2 lounges in this area, but we noticed that with the kids' lounge, we've got a little bit darker tones. Kids tend to jump on couches. We also brought some dark elements to this side so that the 2 spaces, in as much as they are in the same area, they're distinctive, but they still connect. So accents of same colors or accents of the accents colors are also found in both lounges. Hence, we're creating the very same beautiful experience in the 2 different spaces, but they're quite different.
That Farai fingerprint, being in a space that you've been able to create and put together so beautifully, I get a breath of you. It is you inherently. So how is someone able to differentiate one design from a Farai design?
What we do with our spaces is we always try to bring love. So when you look at it, it's a romantic story that is being told. Everything is considered, it's layered, but it's not overwhelming. When you see this, then you see that we were there.
You speak from a place of passion. It's been so beautiful to have this conversation with you. I've taken down notes from everything that you spoke about today, and I'll be using it in my own space before giving you a call. Thank you so much for joining us today, Farai.
It is an absolute pleasure.
And to you, our all-important viewers, please let us know on our socials which space you found the most beautiful this evening.
Yes, and make sure you use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. Please do make sure you catch us next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. only on S3. And if you do happen to miss our weekly episode, you can catch the repeat every single Sunday at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. But until next week, we'll see you soon. Bye.